this ain't love. There's no way you get into my heart. Someone told me, gotta move on. Keep it together for you fall apart.
Hello and servus from Vienna, Austria. We are working in my junk journal for February, and I am not doing a prompt today. Instead, I will once more be doing a pocket from a book page. I was still thinking about Joie's video from Joie de Fille. I will link her channel down below once more. She has fabulous videos that are very inspirational on making junk journals and making ephemera for your junk journals. And at the moment she has been doing pockets out of book pages. So we did a collaboration last week, and the topic is still kind of with me in my thoughts, so I thought I would just make another one and not have a prompt, just make a hopefully pretty pocket. We will see. So I took this page from this beautiful book that I had gotten at the Goodwill, and I had this one colored image in it, and I'm just expertly measuring the size that the image needs to be, and you see I'm kind of off center, but that's okay. So I'm just going to glue that down, and then I already also tore another book page out of the book, or rather not tore, I now know that I need to cut them with the Stanley knife. So yeah, so I don't mess up the images like I used to, so I'm learning as well. So now I just cut the second book page. I cut it down to 10 centimeters, and I'm now folding it every 10 centimeters. So luckily this page has exactly 30 centimeters in width, so I just had to divide it into 3 parts, because this way it will be a square. It doesn't have to be a square, but I just thought it would look nice for this. And now I just folded the 2 outer squares into a triangle, and I'm going to glue those in. And after I glue them, I realized that was too fast because I did want to ink the edges, so I'm gonna have to open that again. Luckily it hasn't really set yet, so I was able to do that easily. So now I'm just going to ink the edges. And one other thing I will be doing, this was a request from one of my very dear pen pal friends, Emma, from the UK, and she requested that I show how I use my die cut machine. So that is what I'll be doing here. And here I'm just testing where I could actually put in some stuff, and I realized there's more pockets than I thought, and I had to make a decision. Was I gonna do a top pocket, a side pocket, or just that front pocket, or whatever? So before making that decision, I thought I would think about which ephemera I could use for decorating it. So I went through my stash, and this is kind of my little box for medium-sized ephemera. So I have like something for the bigger ones, then I have this for the medium ones, and I have a little clear plastic box with a lid for the small ones. I don't know what's the best way to organize it, honestly. I'm kind of still struggling. So I think a lot of us have this similar issue, and I might change things as I go along, but for now that's what I have. So I found these 2 lovely pieces of washi sticker that I got from a Happy Mail. I believe they might have been from Annette, but I'm not 100% sure. I apologize if they were from someone else. So they have this beautiful floral image which works just perfectly with the other floral image on the background. And then there was this other piece with this bird and the butterfly, and I thought that would work out really well as well. So I am just now, I'm using my bone folder to make straight edges because I was too lazy to take out my ruler. And now I'm just gonna, after erasing the line that I drew wrong, I'm just going to cut that down to fit that little triangle over there. Now I just have to trim part of that bird off, but that was okay. And the butterfly as well. Oh well. Okay, and then I'm gonna use that other butterfly that I had to cut off that one and stick it on the left side of the triangle, because there was still a spot where I had some space to fill up. Yeah, so that one. So I think that worked out so nicely. Just cutting that down. I don't really know if that was necessary, to be honest, because you can hardly see these. They're so thin. I love these. They don't add extra bulk because the pocket is definitely adding enough bulk. So I was really happy to use these kind of washi sticker things. Don't you love my technical terms? Okay, so that is it for the pocket, and I'm really liking that. So now I'm trying to decide which pockets I'm actually gonna use. But first, so here is my die cut. This is a fairly new one. I will link that down below. It's from AliExpress. Surprise, surprise. And the way I like to store these, which have multiple parts like this, I just leave them in their plastic, and I also leave samples of how they look with it. So I think that really helps me to decide how I'm going to use them. Excuse me. So now I can check with these samples of what would work for this pocket. So I'm just trying out a few things, seeing where I could actually stick things. Excuse me. And I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So I use the side pocket, I use the front top pocket, and this little triangle side pocket. And I'm not sure whether I'm gonna use these two smaller bits yet, but I thought I would cut them out anyway. So I'm going to now see which cardstock I'm going to use, and this is one I got at Michael's. It's Recollections, and it's called Secret Gardens, and it's really cute. I didn't see now what size it is, but I think you saw before. So it has a lot of floral images, and the nice thing of using cardstock which is in the same pack is of course that they match. So I chose a few. I think I chose 4 different ones that obviously they all go together, but I chose 4 different ones for the different tags I'm going to use, and 5 different ones actually. And I just love how they, how you can easily mix and match them. That's great. Now, of course, if you don't have a die cutting machine, then you can just cut your tags by hand, obviously, or with your paper trimmer, and maybe you could round the edges if you want. So this is definitely not a must, but since I got the request to show it, I thought I would just go ahead and do it for this one. So this is a Sizzix a Big Shot fold away, and I like it because it is very compact. It's pretty heavy, but it's compact and it works very well. I'm very happy with it. It was an investment. I don't remember now how much it cost. I got it from Amazon, but it wasn't cheap, but I never regretted it because I really use it all the time, also for card making, and I just love it so much. The only thing that's a pain is clicking those side trays in and also taking them out again. That is really difficult. So it comes with different plates. So this is like the base plate, and it shows you some images of how you're supposed to do it. And then there's this milky white one. and that goes on top of that base plate that is usually on, unless I'm using embossing folders, which are thicker, so then that milky one doesn't really have space to fit in there. And then you have these two clear ones. Well, that one isn't that clear anymore because I've used it so much. So the very, very scratched up one goes on the bottom, and then I put the one that's still in better shape on the top, and in between I will put the cardstock and the die cuts, always facing down, which is why the bottom one is cut up so much. So now I have my die cuts, and I have to decide which image, I have to decide which image will go for which die cut, or which cardstock goes for which die cut. So I am choosing this one that is, how should I say, it's not very dominant, the pattern, so I wanted to use that as like the base tag, where I would stick the other tag inside. Now the cool thing about this die cut is that it has this little decorative slit in the middle, which you can of course place anywhere, and so that's where you can stick your tag in, and I think it's so cool. And I think it's a little bit crooked, but it's good enough. And of course you could run it through again and put in another slit on the bottom to put a smaller tag in as well. So now I am trying to decide on the image for the bigger of the two tags, and so I wanted to use this bigger bird image, and I always think it's so exciting to see what the final product then turns out. So I really love these a lot, and actually I could have stuck that one in there as well, but I wanted to leave that bird one for the side pocket, and then I wanted to use that little bird up there for the smaller tag, which is actually going to be put in the base tag. And so when there are specific places I need the die cut to be, I attach it with a washi tape so that it stays exactly where I want it to be without moving. And the washi tape is great because it's easily removable again without damaging the paper. So for this one I use it as well, although for this one it wasn't really crucial because it wasn't so exact where it had to go. So this is the one small tag that I knew I was going to put in that front lower pocket. Really cute as well. And then I'm also going to cut out these two little tags, not knowing for sure if or how I'm going to use those, but I thought good to have. Even if I don't use them now, I can use them in other projects while I have the big shot and the die cuts out. So they're really cute as well. Okay, so everything is cut out, and I can now return to my spread. So here you see all the parts and how I want to add them to my pocket. And you have the side one, and then you have the other side one. And for the two there, I was still thinking I didn't want to cover up that bird, so I didn't really want to use that one. And the round one would have been too big to add to that side one, but then I think, well, it would be nice to have kind of like a tab to pull out that side one. So I decide to just fold that circle in half, and then to cut it, and then to place that on top to function as a tab. So you'll see in a second how I attach that. Yeah, so I just attach it like that, and I really like that. And the one side has a little hole in it already from the die cut, so then I decide to punch a hole through the other one as well, so that I can string some ribbon through it. So now I glue the pocket down as well, And so I learned a little trick because of course I have glued in the wrong places many times. But I saw someone, and I forgot who it is, that she always holds her fingers on the part that she should not glue, which is brilliant. So that's what I did, and it works very well. You don't glue in the wrong places. And now I'm just, yeah, I just inked the edges, of course, of all the pieces, and I really love how that turned out. But I have yet to add the string or the ribbon. So here's where I just do the hole. And I've mentioned before, I really don't like this hole punch. It's from Fiskars because you can't really see where exactly it's punching the hole. So these are some beautiful, beautiful ribbons. I don't know if you can say ribbons. That I had just gotten from Bean Apple Pie from Yuki. You can see that in my last Happy Mail video. I love these so much. I believe they're from Daiso. And I really, really wish we had a Daiso here in Vienna, but we don't. Maybe one of these days. So I'm just tying this around, and the colors just match so wonderfully with this spread. I love these so, so much. Thank you again, Miyuki. I think you're gonna watch this, so thank you so much. I love it. And since I loved it so much for that tag, and that oh no, that didn't have a hole, but that top one I thought needs a hole as well. And I decided to add the same ribbon just because I love it so, so much. There's that, and then what do I do? I don't do anything. I'm done. So maybe I will write something on the back at one point, but not now. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you were inspired to make your own little pocket, and wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me and for hanging out. Bye.